Hello guys, welcome back to Elasticsearch Unlocked. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving like a recap of what we've done before. Recap on Elasticsearch, its meaning, and also Kibana, summary on what they do, the reason why we are even doing this at all. And from there, we see some practical section, and I will also give you some challenge to work on. So stay tuned while we will learn. So Elasticsearch is built using Lucene library, okay, which provides a very strong foundation for search capabilities. So Elasticsearch simply is a search engine, like I mentioned in our first video, but more or less like a super search engine that you don't have to waste a lot of time. So you could search a particular data or information on Elasticsearch within seconds and you get the results. Meanwhile, Elasticsearch stores the data in JSON documents. Okay, data is stored in order to create flexibility, enabling easy indexing and querying. Also, real-time indexing is also supported with Elasticsearch, and most of the common uses of Elasticsearch are for analysis in e-commerce websites, for filtering, aggregation, and full text search. So we also looked at Kibana. What's Kibana? Kibana is a data visualization tool in Elasticsearch. So it is used to create dashboards, charts, and we use it to create queries, to run queries. So it allows building interactive dashboards and charts and supports running queries to filter and explore data. Okay, why are we even doing this at all? So Elasticsearch creates a structured search for at scaling level. What does this mean? Simply means that it enables efficient searching through vast datasets with ease and speed. Okay, like I mentioned that with Elasticsearch, while you search for data on the database, like the indexing, using the indexing system, you are able to get data at real time, fast and easy. Okay, it's also a powerful tool for modern day web applications and data-driven. It's used for data-driven decision making in companies and companies. So skills in Elasticsearch and Kibana are in demand in tech right now, and so if you're able to get hold of this skill at a very early stage, it's going to give you an opportunity in the tech industry. So basically, this is why we do Elasticsearch, and there are more to it, but as we keep learning, we get to see the beauty and what Elasticsearch brings to the table as we learn. So in this video, or in our practical section, we are also going to be looking at HTTP methods that we'll be using for indexing, data analytics, and why it is important for us to make use of this method. So basically, we'll be using four major methods, that is, four actionable tools, should I say tools, or Elasticsearch parameters, like the get, the post, the put, and the delete. So the get is an Elasticsearch method that simply enables us to visualize data insertion in documents, while we use the post to insert data into the document, and the put actually is similar to the post, but majorly it is used to create, we use it to create Elasticsearch indexing. And the delete, of course, we use it to delete data from the Elasticsearch index. There are not too much complication to this, but by the time we have a practical section, you are going to see how this actually plays out. Okay, and what is indexing? So simply, indexing is similar to a table in SQL. if you're familiar with SQL, or we call it database management system, we observe that data are stored in rows in a database. So similarly, the index is like a table in a traditional SQL database that we use to organize data systematically. In Elasticsearch, it's like we said, indexes put documents which are like rows in database table, and they are partitioned into sheds. Okay, meaning that they are splitted or portioned, separated into pieces, such that it enables scalability by the time we store the data, because data coming into Elasticsearch are large. So, and for this to be an efficiency, we need to partition them, that is, to put them into chunks, so that there will be that flexibility in terms of data search and accuracy in output. So we also use indexing to create, update, and search for data within Elasticsearch. So this is basically what indexing is all about. Likewise, mapping. So mapping is how we structure the fields. When we talk about mapping is just a way of telling how you want to structure. You're telling Elasticsearch how you want to structure your data. So when we have, take for instance, if you have a user, the user will at all time we have name, maybe date of birth, field of username, maybe phone number or date of death. These are how data are stored in Elasticsearch, especially when we use mapping. So if you are bringing in external data into Elasticsearch, we will want to tell Elasticsearch, okay, this is how we want you to structure this data, or the format we want the data to be. So that's what mapping simply means. So in our practical section, we'll be working on using the dev tool in Kibana to create a document or an elastic index. So we create an elastic index, we create a document index, Elasticsearch index documents, and we see how to manipulate data with respect to our choice of data sets. So without any further delay, let's get into the practical section. Now I'm on my desktop for us to have the practical section of this tutorial, of this lesson. Okay, you are seeing the interface you are seeing currently is my Kibana interface, UI interface. I already run Kibana on my desktop before now, because it takes time before it's launched. So I have to do it before the lesson actually commenced. So the process is very simple. It's just like how we do it normally when I showed you in our last class during the installation and configuration of Kibana and Elasticsearch. So you simply come to where you saved your file on the C drive, and you simply right click on each of them. So for instance, let's say, we always remember that you should launch your Elasticsearch before Kibana, so that Elasticsearch will be able to communicate with Kibana, and right click on Elasticsearch as you will as normally. Then you just press open in terminal. Same with Kibana. Okay, you right click and you open in terminal, and that way both of them have to open. Then when you've opened in terminal, you simply come. So we have two tabs here. So what you just do now is to cd into the bin file. Always remember that, cd into the bin file of the Elasticsearch. So you can have both of them running at the same time, cd into the bin file. And same with Kibana as well. You cd into the bin, you enter. Then while you are in the bin file in both of them, take for instance, let's say to launch the Elasticsearch, you simply type elastic, and press tab to autocomplete and enter to launch Elasticsearch. Same goes for Kibana as well. Just type Kibana and tab to autocomplete and enter. So this is going to launch both Elasticsearch and Kibana, and that way you are ready to go. So the moment it's launched, you just have to go to your browser, and you go to your browser to see. It's already telling me you couldn't relog, because I already opened it on my PC. It's running already, so I don't have to do it again. I just did this as a demo for you to see how you could actually launch your Kibana and Elasticsearch. So without any further delay, if you're able to go through this successfully, I'm sure if you follow the step, you're going to get it successfully. You just have to go to your browser now and make sure to type in make sure to go to the ports, these ports. First of all, for the Elasticsearch, go to port 9200. Then you will open it, then you will see something like this. So these are your Elasticsearch information and all. Then you can now go back to another, you open another tab, then you type in the port number, okay, on your browser, and it will open this interface for you. So without any further delay, let's get into the main gist of today. So just come here on the left side, you see an hamburger menu. Just click it and scroll down to management. Then when your management, type on dev tools. Okay, so in the dev tools now, we are going to see an opening of an interface where we can now do the normal Elasticsearch configuration, not configuration, practical on data manipulation using different Elasticsearch tools like I have mentioned in the slide. So let's wait, my PC is giving me a time. Yeah, now it's back, so let's continue. So I'm now on my console. So this is the console, and this is where we can now write our Elasticsearch queries, and let's get into it. So like I mentioned, for you to create an index file, you will use the put method. So the put method, simply type P, make sure they are all in cap lock, put, and you simply write the index name. Okay, so let's say the index name is let's say we want to write the index name to be users. Okay, let's say users. Let me say user. Don't mind my typing, please. User. Okay, / before this, you have to put a / in front of the user before the backward slash before this. Okay, / user. Now we can move on. Okay, then enter. Then to create, so now we want to create the mapping for this particular user. So let's say we open a curly brace, and within the curly brace just type the word mappings. Okay, mappings. Then within mappings, okay, we have properties. So the properties are the keys and the value. So in this mapping now, you still have to type properties, because the properties we determine what data type you want to use for this particular users. So now we have the property, and for them that we have users, we always at all time have the name. So we have to type name, let's say name. Okay, and the name is going to have a type of what? Let's say type. Sorry, my PC is glitching. So a type of the name is a string, so we say it's a type of what? Text, not text. So, and we add a comma, and we enter again. So let's say age for the user. The user has a particular age, and we have to give the age as well a type, and the h type is going to be what? It's going to be an integer. So let's say, and the type is going to be it's not alias, it's going to be what? Integer. Okay, and this is the mapping we have set for our data. We are the one going to create the data sets. So in this case, we are not going to be having too much specifications, but let's assume we are going to be importing data from an external source to our Elasticsearch, then we can have more fields. So let's just take this as a case study, but as we move on, we are still going to see more on how to add more data fields. Now we want to insert a particular document into this indexed user that we have created. So to do that, we always use the method what? Posts. So we use posts, and we set post what? Post user. Okay, we say post user, and we say doc. Okay, and under the documents, then we have to specify what exactly do we want to call this person. But now we say the particular name, the field given to the type in the index is first is name. Okay, we say name, and that name we set it to be what? A string. So it has to be a string, and the person name could be Simon, and we say comma, and the next is what? The age. So the age, and make sure that these fields match exactly what is given in your index, because if not, if it doesn't, you will have a problem with the field. So, and the index is what? Is an integer, so we could say 23. So an integer normally shouldn't have a quote, okay, because it's a number. So now we have successfully create a document. So in traditional database, this will be like a row of name, a row with two fields having name and age. Okay, now this is the database itself. This is how we structure the database in traditional database management system. Now we've structured how the database is going to look like. The database is going to have two properties. Okay, it's going to have the name and the age, and now within that database, we want to specify this. We want to bring in a data that has this particular fields within the database, and those data are to a name, which is now going to be Simon, which takes the type text, and the age, which takes the type integer. Okay, now we are going to be using get to visualize it and see the output. Okay, so let's say get, and we say user, sorry, is user. I'm wondering why it doesn't user, and we say search. It depends, you could use search to do it. Make sure it's underscore, it should be underscore search, and let's start by running each of these methods and see the output here. So enter to see the output here. So let's see the output. Just click on this play button here to see the results. Okay, and the result is status code error, bad gateway. Okay, so message say client request timeout for HTTP with request puts user create it true. So it seems the way we create our document, our index, is wrong. So I think it shouldn't be this / here. Okay, it should be here. I think so. I'm not sure, but I think it is. So let's try that again. Okay, so it said type resources already exist, exception reason index user, okay, already exists. So I already have an index called user within my system, my Elasticsearch. So that's why. So let's say let's change the name to underscore user1. Okay, let's see whether it will work. Let's change everything to underscore user1, and this as well underscore user1, and let's check again. So it says acknowledge true, shared acknowledge true, index user1. So that means that your index has successfully been created and the fields are acknowledged. Okay, the settings is correct. Now let's check on our posts. So now we want to check if this particular document exists within the index. So same thing, you click here and let's wait. And it says yes, we have user1, the ID is this, okay, and the version is 1, created, result is created successfully, the number of shared total, don't mind, don't think about this at all. Later we are going to see what all this is all about. Okay, so our next is to use the get method to search within our index. So we could have multiple data within this index. We could have multiple documents with this our particular user index, but for now we are just going to be seeing it as a demo. In our subsequent classes we are going to be doing more practicals, inserting more data into the our index. So let's click on this and see the results. So it says, yeah, we have this took time out, false, total, successful, all these. We are still going to be talking about them in later on. But what I want you to pay attention to now is this value. Okay, this value. So the value do we have here? We have just one value, okay, because it's just a single document. So those value, the value now is 1. Okay, if we have multiple documents with multiple data within this index, then we will have the value to correspond to whether 2 or 3 or more. So this is what it looks like to create or to manipulate data, to create a document, to create an index, and also to use get method, post and put method in Elasticsearch. So, and I think this is where we wrap it up for today. In our next section or lesson, we are going to be seeing more on these practicals. So here there's a challenge for you to work on, and the challenge is to create an index called user profile. Then you will add 2 documents to this, where you will add 2 documents with fields such as name, email, joined at, and search. The next will be to search for all users who joined after a specific date. Visualize the result using Kibana. I think you will have to skip this part. So in summary, Elasticsearch is used for fast searching of data. Okay, it has a scalable system that enables real-time data insights. It's also versatile in terms of use. Thank you and see you in the next class.